Welcome to What's the Deal Wednesday. I'm Stephanie Wilson, the Argyle Insider, and today I'm answering the question, what's the deal with mortgage lenders in the Argyle area? It's about prime time season for house hunting, so I thought this would be a good time to introduce you to my friend Joe Bartram. He owns a C&N Mortgage here in Argyle. It's right off of 377 and Collins Street. So, Joe, first, before we get into business, tell us about what led you and your family to move here to Argyle a few years ago.
Well, thank you for having me, right? We moved to Argyle about 7 years ago. Tina and I came from Arizona. I'm from Texas, but I went to North Texas and graduated college from there. So I knew this area pretty well. And then when I brought her back, we drove through and she's like, I'm sold. We're not going anywhere else because of the trees and the different things and the hills. So she really loved it. And we have 2 kids, that the school district was awesome. And so 7th grade, I have Hunter, and then Anna's in the 5th grade. And we're really involved in the schools. And that's the reason we chose Argyle, because of the community.
So I know that you guys are so invested in the community, just with sponsoring different things and just your time and volunteering. We worked together in AYSA, and I worked with your wife Tina doing cheerleading. So we really appreciate all your service to this town.
Well, the community feel, being involved is what's important. AYSA has been great for my kids. It's been great for me. It's taught me how to talk better, communicate better with kids, coaching. Tina does the cheer. You taught her how to do that. And it's just, that's kind of what that community feel, that small town. And that's what kind of led me to looking at starting something different. And when we started C&N Mortgage, it's because it's a small family company. So all the different franchise owners, they are part of a family, and the owners of the franchise come in and actually grow with you, get to know your family, and help you out in the communities.
That's awesome. How long have you been in the industry?
So I've been in the industry since 2001, so almost 20 years now. So I've been only at 4 different companies, but over each one of those companies, I've learned different ways to do it, and that's why we decided today was the right time to actually start C&N 5 years ago.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, so let's talk about home loans. I know a lot of people in this area are self-employed. We have a lot of entrepreneurs. Do you have loan programs that can be helpful to them?
So loan programs are different, for different lenders based on their underwriters and based on the people that support, right? So self-employed clients always have these products at any lender. The difference with C&N is my head of underwriting takes time to diagnose where we might be able to use more income. We have different products if you have to use bank statements, but it's the service and the time that we take to put into it to make sure we have a doable loan for our self-employed clients. And we do that up front so that way they're not worried about, are my tax returns going to show the right things? We go ahead and gather all that information, and we have our true head of underwriting looking at it with me to make the decision. So that's the one reason that we do excel in the self-employed people.
Okay, great. Okay, so now whenever I have someone call me that wants to see a home, I always make sure that they're pre-approved, because if they want to make an offer, you have to have that pre-approval letter. And in fact, some sellers won't even let you see the house without being pre-approved. So what does that look like? If they call you, is that a lengthy process? What does it take to get that pre-approval letter?
So pre-approval actually is not a lengthy process. There's a couple of different ways we do them. First is filling out the application so we can run the credit. You can do that either over the phone and I can type it in, or any of my people can type it in. Or I have an online that's really easy, and it's more of a questionnaire, kind of asking the questions to fill in the application. And, that takes maybe 10 minutes.
Okay.
Pulling credit, working up numbers, kind of running through the application with the client maybe takes another 15 minutes. So we can have a pre-approval done in about 40 minutes, and truly run it through an automated underwriting. The reason that you want somebody pre-approved is you don't want them to start looking at houses that they can't qualify for, and then they get kind of upset about having to kind of downgrade on what they're looking at. So I always recommend get them pre-approved. We do it based off of the application and the conversations, and it doesn't always have to be you have to throw all the documents at us first. For the people that income is from tax returns and things like that, we ask for that up front just so that way we can make sure the income is, what they're saying it is.
Right. Okay. All right. So everybody's talking about refis right now. When would be a good time to start talking to a lender about that scenario?
So if you've bought your house, 6 months or longer, right? And you haven't refinanced it, it's good to talk to a lender, call us up because we can check where rates are. I had one yesterday call up and they were telling me where their rate's at, but it wasn't so much that the rate savings was going to get them, but I could get the mortgage insurance off because of the appreciation, especially here in Argyle, Harvest area, Canyon Falls. even the existing homes that aren't in those communities, the appreciation has helped so much that if you bought your house a year and a half ago, you could get off of that mortgage insurance. That's where the big savings is. It doesn't cost anything for somebody to do and look up what you can save. So if it can save you a couple $100 a month, it's worth at least looking into it.
Absolutely. That's worth a call. And speaking of, what's the best way for people to reach out to you guys?
You can call me directly on my cell phone number. It's 214-316-1369, or you can go on Facebook, you can go to our website, or you can stop in the offices. I have the one here in Argyle, and then I have one in Grapevine too.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you sharing this information with us. And as always, if you have questions about the Argyle area or local real estate, I am Stephanie Wilson with Magnolia Realty right here in Argyle. I'd love to answer any questions that you have or help be a resource for you. That is your What's the Deal Wednesday. I'll see you next week.